Our third lecture will be Design Cybersecurity Frameworks. Design cybersecurity frameworks is easy. Cybersecurity frameworks are a set of documents describing guidelines, standards, and best practice designed for cybersecurity risk management. The frameworks exist to reduce an organization's exposure to weaknesses and vulnerability that hackers and other cyber criminals may exploit. What is cybersecurity framework? Cybersecurity frameworks are a set of documents describing guidelines, standards, and best practices designed for cybersecurity risk management. The frameworks exist to reduce an organization's exposure to weaknesses and vulnerabilities that hackers and other cyber criminals may exploit. The word framework makes it sound like the term refers to hardware, but that's not the case. It doesn't help that the word mainframe exists, and its existence might imply that we are dealing with a tangible infrastructure of surface data is stored in etc. But much like a framework in the real world consists of a structure that supports a building or other large objects, the cybersecurity framework provides foundation, structure, and support to an organization's security methodologies and efforts. As we are about to see, these frameworks come in many ways. What are the types of cybersecurity frameworks? Frameworks break into three types based on the needed functions: control frameworks, program frameworks, and risk frameworks. Control frameworks develops a basic strategy for the organization's cybersecurity department, provides a baseline group of security controls, assesses the present state of the infrastructure and technology, prioritize implementation of security controls. Program frameworks assesses the current state of the organization's security program, construct a complete cybersecurity program, measures the program security and competitive analysis, faculties and simplifies communications between the cybersecurity teams and the manager's executive. Risk frameworks defines the necessary process of risk assessment and management, structure a security program for risk management, identify measures and quantities the organization's security risks, quantifies the organization's security risk, prioritize appropriate security measures and activities. Top cybersecurity frameworks. When it comes to picking a cybersecurity framework, you have an ample selection to choose from. Here are the frameworks recognized today as some of the better ones in the industry. Naturally, your choice depends on your organization's security needs. Companies turn to cybersecurity frameworks for guidance. The right framework is instituted correctly. Let IT security teams intelligence manage their company's cyber risk. Companies can either customize an existing framework or develop one in-house. Some business must employ traffic information security framework to follow industry or government regulation. For example, if your business handles purchases by credit card, it must comply with the payment card industry data security standards, BCIDSS frameworks. In an instant, your company must pass an alert that shows they comply with BCIDSS framework standards. The NIST Cybersecurity Framework. The NIST Cyber Framework for Improving Critical Infrastructure Cybersecurity, or the NIST Cyber Frameworks for brevity's sake, was established during the Obama administration in response to presidential executive order. The NIST was designed to protect American critical infrastructure, example damaged power plants, for cyber attacks. NIST is a set of vulnerability security standards that provide sectors companies can use to find identity and respond to cyber attacks. The framework also features guidelines to help organizations prevent and recover from cyber attacks. These are 5 functions are best practice associated with NIST. Identify, number 1, number 2, protect, number 3, detect, number 4, respond, number 5, recover. The Center of Internet Security Critical Security Control, CIS. If you want your company to start small and graduate work in this way, you must go with CIS. This framework was developed in the late of 20th century to protect companies from cyber threats. It is made up of 20 controls regulating abilities by security professionals from many fields: academia, government, industry. The framework begins with a basic movement on to foundational, then finishing with organizational. CIS uses benchmarks based on common standards like HIPAA or NIST that map security standards and offer alternative configuration of our organization, not subject to mandatory security protocols but want to improve cybersecurity anyways. Number 3. The International Standard Organization ISO frameworks, ISO IEC 27001 and 27002. This framework is also called ISO 270K. It's considered the internationally recognized cybersecurity validation standard for both international situations and across third parties. ISO 27K operates under the assumption that the organization has information security management system. ISO IEC 27001 requires management to exhaustively manage their organization information security risk, focusing on their threats and vulnerabilities. ISO 27K is very demanding. The framework recommends 114 different controls broken into 14 categories. As a result, ISO 27K might not be for everyone considering the amount of work involved in maintaining the standards. However, if implementing ISO 27K is selling point for attracting new customers, it's worth it. Number 4. The Health Insurance Probability and Accountability Act, better known as HIPAA. It provides a framework for managing confidential patient and customer data, particularly privacy issues. This legislation protects electronic healthcare information and is essential for healthcare provider insurance and clearinghouses. There are many other frameworks to choose from, including SOC2 Certified Organization Control, NERC ICIB North American Electric Reliability Corporation Credential Infrastructure Protection, GDPR General Data Protection Regulation, FISMA Federal Information System Management Act, HIT Trust, CSF Health Information Trust Alliance, BCIDSS Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards, COBIT Control Objectives for Information and Related Technologies, COSO Committee of Sponsoring Organization. There are cases where a business or organization utilizes more than one framework concurrently, more intelligently. Companies can adopt and adjust an existing framework to meet their own needs to create an internally. However, the latter option could pose challenges since some businesses must adopt security frameworks that comply with commercial or government regulation. Homegrown frameworks may prove insufficient to meet these standards. Bottom line, businesses are increasingly excited to abide by standard cybersecurity practices, and using these frameworks making compliance easier and smarter. The proper framework will suit the needs of many different sized businesses regardless of which of the country's industries they are part of. Frameworks help companies follow the correct security procedure, which not keeps the organization safe but fosters consumer trust. Customers have fewer reservations about doing business online with companies that follow established security protocol, keeping their financial information safe. Cybersecurity framework best practice. Although every framework is different, certain best practices are applicable across the board. Here we are expanding on NIST 5 function mentioned previously: identity, protect, detect, respond, recover. So identity is to manage the security risk to its assets, data, compliances, and systems. A company must fully understand these environments and identify potential weak spots. Protect. Companies must create and deploy appropriate safeguards to lessen or limit the effect of potential cybersecurity breaches and events. Detect. Organizations should put in motion the necessary procedure to identify cybersecurity incidents as soon as possible. Respond. Companies must be capable of developing appropriate response plans to certain the impact of cybersecurity events. Recover. Companies must create and implement effective procedure that restores any capability and surface damaged by cybersecurity events. Here are some designs of framework pictures. Cybersecurity framework. Just pause the video and see it clearly and read it from up to end. Wish you luck.